Hey, yo, welcome to the Final Bell, right? Show. Hey, I got a special guest here, man. I got my man Travis Williams. We go way back. Dude is doing some amazing things in our community, man. We gotta support it. Travis, what's up, man? I'm glad
man,
to be on the show,
I appreciate you. First and foremost, man, thank you for inviting me, man. There's no better place than I'd rather be right here with you, brother.
I love it, man. That's awesome. That is awesome. So, Travis, I want you to tell the audience a little bit about yourself, man, and we'll go from there.
Now, listen here. My name is Travis L. Williams. I'm the CEO and founder of HBCU All-Stars. I own a black-owned sports marketing events and media company here in Atlanta, Georgia. After 17 successful years of coaching, God placed His vision in my spirit in October 2019. We believe in ear and or, exposure, access, recognition, opportunity, resources, and results for our proud and tradition-rich HBCUs, our hard-working, talented, ambitious HBCU students and student athletes, and some of our most brilliant coaches across the country that don't normally get that national notoriety or that shine. And now we're doing something just really, truly amazing. We get opportunity to celebrate Black excellence at the highest level through our sports marketing events and media company.
Man, I love it. You hear that? This is what I'm talking about. When you talk, a lot of people talk about, see, this is, for me, this is bigger than basketball. You got a whole vision, man. How did you come up with this whole vision? What was your motivation of doing this? I mean, I understand it, but just talk to the audience and tell them.
I think it's such a truly God-driven vision. So as I mentioned, after 17 successful years of coaching, God placed His vision in my spirit. Said, I'm placing something in your spirit that's going to change the trajectory of our historical Black colleges and universities. I was a head coach at two prestigious HBCUs, Tennessee State University, Fort Valley State University. I played college ball here in Atlanta at Georgia State University. But when God places a vision in your spirit, I'm being obedient. And as you know, you've been around the game. You're one of the most legendary guys been around the game. And so our historical Black colleges and universities don't get the notoriety, don't get the shine, don't get the global or national exposure. And that is long overdue. And so when God placed His vision in my spirit, we made history.
Wow.
And hosted the first ever HBCU All-Star game in 2020-22.
Love it.
In New Orleans. First time ever during the 40-plus year of history of the NCAA March Madness Final Four Tournament Championship.
Wow.
April 2023 in Houston.
Beautiful.
First ever HBCU All-Star game on an HBCU campus.
Wow.
And then exactly 4 months ago in April 2024.
So beautiful.
We hosted the third annual HBCU All-Star game in Phoenix, the Valley of the Sun, where there's no HBCUs.
Wow.
And so not only that, you think about it, there are 450 NBA players, Bo. 30 NBA teams. There's only one current active HBCU player on the NBA roster.
Wow.
So what does that say?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Travis, the thing what I always admired about you, man. I always admired your perseverance, but the thing that you said, you God fearing. Like a lot of people pray for it, but they don't believe for it. And so you taking action and doing something in the community where you serving and helping others and helping other people get opportunities. And see, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people, what happens, and you know this as well as I do, when God give you them blessings, a lot of times people close their hand.
Yeah.
So can't nothing go in and can't nothing go out. So what you have done and what you're doing is you stand open to receive those blessings, but at the same time, you're helping others, man, obtain their goals, man. And that's a beautiful thing, man. And I think that's one of the things that every time I see you, I light up. Because when I see brothers like you, I promise you that, man. Because what you're doing, man, is priceless. What you're doing is needed. Yeah. What you're doing is legendary. You know what I mean? You started it. This is going to be something that people are going to be talking about for a long time. So I'm so happy that we connected. So you come on the show, man, and share this information. But just tell them about our relationship, man. How we first met, man. How we first met, bro.
Woo! I was my senior year in college at Georgia State University. So back in those times, man, when we had legendary hooping and runs, man, before all the running shoots, and it got to a point where we. All the NBA guys, there any given day you see Dominique, Ramil Robinson, Steve Smith, all these guys are coming in hooping at Georgia State, all the Georgia Tech guys, Travis Bass, Kenny, everybody you can think of. And then you come in there, the legendary hoop. So we met coming down there working out at Georgia State University when I played.
Right.
You know, when you used to come down there and hoop, come in the gym and get shots. I'm like, man, who is this guy here? Come in the gym, walk in the gym, shooting across half court. And just the respect factor, you know what I'm saying? And so just in this game of basketball, and that's what the thing about basketball, it's relationships.
Yes.
So think about all those years, almost 30 years ago, to where we are now,
Yes.
sitting here and having this historic interview and conversation, brother. So I applaud you for the lives that you impact, you know, through your basketball, through your game, and just the life skills that you import in a lot of our young folks and our youth, man. Trust me, you know, in basketball circles, you know, hey, man, do you have a camp or anything? You need to go to Bovell basketball camp. You know, so that's love and respect. You know, who do you know who's doing it at a high level? You need to get with Bovell. You know what I'm saying? So that's respect. So we've been in the business a long time,
Yes.
but more importantly, our personal and professional relationships have been unmatched.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, the business that we are in, I mean, basketball is a universal language that brings people together,
Yeah.
you know, as you know, and we're experiencing that. But I think we're in the people business.
Yeah.
Where we're really trying to make a difference, man. And you said something earlier about it's your passion, but also it's your purpose.
Yep.
This is something that we didn't choose this. We was chose to do this.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
was chose to do this. You've been put in a position, and God, are you doing it well, man? And I'm so proud of you, man. Just talk to the people about what goes into this whole process of you developing this whole machine to get this done. A lot of people, they looking on the outside, so they
Yeah. see,
you know, the guys playing. It's a lot that goes into that. So can you just talk to the audience
Yeah,
about?
of course. Let me take you back to in October 2019. You know, we were hosting the 2020 Men's Final Four Championship here in April 2020. As you know, we were scheduled to host the first ever HBCU All-Star game at the Morehouse College.
Remember that.
And then in March 2020, what happened? The pandemic hit.
Yep.
It shut us down. So imagine all that preparation, all that, you know, planning and all that stuff. And then, of course, the pandemic hit and shut us down, you know. And so as things start opening back up in 2021, and then I signed an amazing historic partnership with CBS Sports. There's not too many of us as African Americans in this space. And so when I signed a partnership, we decided we're going to focus on the April 2022. So folks understand there's a year of planning in all of this. You know, all the behind the scenes action and everything. It is a year of planning and setting a vision every year, because every hosting city presents their unique challenges and all that stuff, but it's also an opportunity for us to give back and bless the community. I'm gonna take you back to April 2022, New Orleans, the first time ever. That's when you know God is truly remarkable on what this movement means to our culture. Think about it. We had Duke, Villanova, Kansas, and North Carolina. You had the 4 blue bloods in New Orleans in 2022.
Remember that.
And you had our HBCU All-Stars.
Wow.
And the experience was first class in everything we do. We had an opportunity to take them to the Final Four games. Then all of a sudden, Magic Johnson gets the word, oh, the HBCU All-Stars are there at the game. So not only those they going to watch on the Final, but they come in and hang out with us in our suite and show us love on what this means because of historic significance.
Right.
Not even 30 minutes after Magic Johnson left, Jamie Foxx rode through and really poured into our guys. So we knew how special this moment was. And then in April 2023, the city shut down. Houston shut down for us, you know, for our culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's bigger than basketball, because why is it bigger than basketball? Living a life of purpose. Because basketball, what brings everybody together.
Yes.
But how do we really impact those communities? That's the important thing. We host the annual college admissions fair, where we invite all 100 plus of our HBCUs to participate.
Love it.
Where we expose our young folks in the New Orleans from metropolitan high schools to the Houston high schools. And the same thing we did in Phoenix. That's important. Our legacy court dedication. It's always important for us to leave a legacy behind us. So we go in and renovate courts, legacy court dedication. You know what I'm saying? And that's important. Our award ceremony, our reception, the scholarships that we give for prospective high school students interested in attending HBCUs or current HBCU students that are in need of financial assistance.
Love it.
And I take great pleasure in knowing, of course, we're going to have the top 24 players represented in our games and things of that nature, broadcast live on a national audience. But I take great pleasure in our internship program because we're able to impact over 100 to 150 students throughout every one of our events.
Love it.
Where we give these students that are interested in doing interns, they can shadow our HBCU All-Star staff, they can shadow our sponsors, they can shadow our TV production partners, anything they want to do in this sports marketing events or media space, they can shadow and learn behind the scenes action, and they can put that on their resume. I've seen in the past few years where some of our interns have gone and got amazing jobs, amazing opportunities, and it was birthed from doing internship
I love it.
through the HBCU All-Stars movement.
I love it.
And so that's really, really important. And then on top of that, you see what type of election year it is.
Mm-hmm.
We always have a social justice and civil rights panel discussion, a component tied to it. Because the HBCU All-Stars movement is a part of what we're doing through this day. Being Crump, Jesse Jackson, we recognize those individuals as social justice giants for us.
Yes.
Because every social justice organization around the country supports what we're doing. Because this is a movement for us and our culture. We don't get too many opportunities on the basketball landscape to celebrate Black excellence at this highest level. As you and I know, our MEAC, our SWAC, our teams get what? Either a playing game or 16 seed into the NCAA when they select the top 68.
Wow.
They win, or they're probably gonna play the number one team in the country. As much as we pulling for them to continue to win and get a national championship through the NCAA March Madness tournament, will it happen in a lifetime? I'm not sure it is. But through our HBCU All-Stars basketball movement, our All-Star game, we're gonna continue to put them front and center. And as you know, Final Four is college basketball biggest weekend with all eyes on that. Wow. And when everything's said and done, all eyes come to the Final Four.
I love it.
And this HBCU All-Star game is historic. And then we have a great relationship with our NBA colleagues where we do a pro day combine.
I love it.
Prior to the All-Star game.
I love it.
This was our biggest year. We had 15 of the 30 NBA teams in attendance in Phoenix.
I love it.
And so our All-Star game is recognized as a national event where the NBA team scouts and personnel can go out and watch. So we'll continue to push it forward. We'll continue the movement. And so now you see a lot of HBCU initiatives that are going on now. It's predicated off the great work we've been doing, putting our HBCUs front and center.
Man.
Yeah, that's God driven, my man.
Man.
That's doing God's work,
I'm
brother.
talking about
God's
man.
work, man. Brother.
So here's the thing, man.
Yeah.
It's like a team,
Yep.
right? For me, team stands for together each accomplish more.
Yes.
That's what it stands for, right? You have assembled a good team around you,
Yeah.
of people, right, that you can trust, that's loyal, but also believe in the vision
Yeah.
of what you're trying to
Oh, yeah.
accomplish. So I look at me and you as, okay, we on the same team,
Yeah.
but we play in different positions, right? So for example, I'm at the bottom where I got to get them early
Yeah.
and use basketball as a vessel, right?
Yeah.
To give them those life lessons as if it's what you're doing at the top. Yeah. So what I always thought was, okay, in order to get solutions, you start at the bottom, you start at the top, and then you bring it together.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And so when we give them that foundation, because guys like me, I had the job in Canada, 2011. I was offered the job. I took it. I was the head coach in the GM of a professional team. It wasn't fulfilling. I walked away from it. It wasn't fulfilling. Because I know what basketball has done for my life, right?
Yes.
And so I could been running for the college opportunities and all the other opportunities. But my purpose was working with kids and giving them life lessons through basketball so they can get to that point where they be able to want to have purpose in their life and have goals where we give them hope and let them know that, okay, there's greatness inside of you.
Yep.
You know, you can do anything you want to. And so that's the piece that me and you have in common. And I'm just so grateful, man, just to call you a friend, man, when I watch how you moving and that's all the things you say. Every time I look up, you're in the right rooms. You're in the right places. You communicating. You out there. You doing it. And that's God's work, man.
That's it.
I mean, you know, and then you got this energy. Like some people walk in the room, Travis, and the room just die.
Yeah.
And then some people walk in, the room light up. You're one of those people. You don't have to say nothing because you got this whole thing, this spiritual thing that's over you, man, because you're doing this work and you're doing it the right way. Man, I'm just so grateful that, you know, what you're doing. So let's tell, what has been your biggest challenges, man, trying to get this thing accomplished and get to that point? What has been your biggest challenge?
I think, you know, your biggest challenge is always just continue to build.
Yeah.
Continue to build.
Yes.
Because the reality, well, a lot of folks still don't understand the magnitude of it. Think about that. When you look at the magnitude of what we've been able to accomplish in 3 years, we're only 3 years. I mean, since October to now, 3 years of doing events of this magnitude. And so when I get an opportunity to have interviews like this, to really speak to the folks that are watching it and listen, we need us to support us on this level. I think that's important. When you got an opportunity in a platform like this to support our historical black colleges and universities and show the world that HBCUs matter.
Yes.
That's what it's about. Our HBCUs is just as great as some of those PWIs. And I went to a PWI. You know, but being afforded the same opportunities, and that's what we're looking at. We're looking at providing those same opportunity and resource and level the playing field. Because our guys suited up just like them.
Yes.
We're just as talented as just those other colleagues. And it's shown because we'll go in some of those places and we'll knock some of those teams off. And we have some of the best and brightest coaches in the country.
Yes.
And so I fight for not only bringing that national global exposure to our HBCUs, but the students and the student athletes and our coaches that deserve the shine, that deserve the notoriety, that deserve to be in those same spaces. And whether or not they wanted to leave an HBCU to go to a higher job, but sometimes we're not even afforded those opportunities just because we're at historical black college and university.
Wow.
So for me in this space is to let the world know that HBCU matter, let the world know that we have some of the most talented students, student athletes, academically, athletically, socially, spiritually. You know, we are talented, and you can see, you know, Vice President Kamala Harris. You look at Howard University, you know, and so we, you know, and it's important for everything that we do, man. And so I'm just being obedient to God.
Yes.
And you know, so I want to share this story with you because when God placed this vision in my spirit, I had to go to my wife. Because, you know, in this coaching business, I did 17 years. A lot of folks don't understand the ground. I moved 9 times in 17 years of coaching. You know what I'm saying? But to go to my wife and say, hey, baby, you're going to have to hold this down. I'm not doing anything. So when you say the challenges, we make personal, professional, and financial sacrifice. The challenge, think about all that put in for that 2020 game, and the pandemic hit, shut us down. So imagine trying to build it back up, trying to really build it back up, and all that money, time, and resources invested in there hurt. But to have a supportive wife to believe in the vision, believe in what we're doing, man, that's the key. And so she held it down. And so it allowed me to lay the groundwork and the foundation. Like you say, you see me everywhere. I'm a grinder. I'm grinding because I'm grinding. Because when you grind, you're grinding for a culture and you're grinding for our people. There's nothing to stop you because why? You putting God first. That's the key. You know, continue to bleed, continue to be faithful. Thanking God for grace and mercy and everything. And I'm a believer. You know what I'm saying? And so, as you said, walk in the room, just being myself, authentic self. And when you're doing it for the right reason, that's the most important thing when you're doing it for the right. You talked about my staff. It ain't me. You'll never hear me both say this in all of anything I do. Ever hear me say it's Travis Williams.
Right.
It's a team.
Yes.
We have an amazing team.
Yes.
Have some movers and shakers, successful women that we bring into this. Men, I mean, we have a dynamic, diverse team. Everybody believes in the vision because as you and I know, it's long overdue.
Yes.
For what this means for us.
Yes.
And everybody wins in this. And I say that wholeheartedly. Just like I mentioned to you, the interns, being able to provide them, they win in moving and prospering and being able to put this on their resumes and do things of that nature. The officials that officiate our game, either MEAC or SWAC officials, they officiate a game on this national global platform, giving promotions to the SEC, Pac-12, big time programs. We have an HBCU All-Stars national scouting staff that explain the process.
I love it.
So in this 24-25 bowl, we'll announce the top 60 to 65 watch list players that are representative of our 49 HBCUs.
Love it.
The MEAC, the SWAC, the CIAA, SIEC, and our independents, Tennessee State, Hampton, North Carolina A&T, because they playing non-HBCU conference.
Wow.
So my scouting staff consists of former HBCU coaches that have gotten fired or transitioned or just still want to be around the game.
Right.
Some of those scouts have gotten back into business being a national scout.
Love it.
You see what I'm saying?
I love it. I love
and so
it.
that kind of that's what we say with everybody wins. Even through my staff that I'm able to hire through their consulting companies, we're able to bring them in this space where they can cultivate, and we talk about this, relationships.
Love it.
You know what I'm saying? So that's important, man. You know,
I
just
love
making
it,
sure
man.
everybody
Yeah.
wins in this, you know, like I said, through our college admissions
Sure,
fair. We've
sure.
touched over 5,000 to 6,000 students through our college admissions
I
fair.
love it, man. I love
And
it.
so I think the key is making sure, and the challenge is to make sure that we continue to support us from our HBCUs, from our athletic and university administration, from our coaches and all this other stuff. Because when it's all said and done, everything we do through this God-driven vision is for the culture.
Man, you absolutely right, Travis. And I'm gonna tell you a story real quick, man. You know, like most guys who retire from playing professional basketball or professional sports, they be looking for a navigational system in which direction they go in and what to do with their lives. So I got involved with real estate. I was an investor, right, and had some very good relationship with the bank. So I was just flipping houses to the other investors. I was just flipping them. It was very lucrative. Did some good things. Made a lot of money, man. You know, but again, that wasn't fulfilling. And so during that time, I was charting buses, taking kids around the country, eating at 5-star restaurants, just trying to show them something different. You come to the table, you get a starch, and you had to have a collar shirt on. You get a starch, you get a vegetable, and you get a meat. We're not drinking Coca-Cola and stuff like that. No offense to Coca-Cola, but I'm just saying we're trying to make these kids understand, you know, your health is your wealth. You know what I mean? So that type of thing. But anyway, long story short, so when the market tanked, I was already working with a lot of kids in the community because I always felt that was my purpose. And I had to reevaluate, and I prayed, and it just kept coming back to me, peace be still. And the way I interpret that was I was already doing what God wanted me to do. Just be still. Kind of like you. See, a lot of people when they get married, you know, they you know, a partnership. You know, they say, you know, behind every successful man is a good woman. I think beside every successful man is a good woman. But also, that's your co-pilot.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I got a co-pilot too, because during that time I had paid for my wife to go get her license to do real estate. So I said, baby, I got to just focus on this. Travis, when I tell you, once I focused, I was inside Atlanta Medical Center. It was like kids were jumping out the ceiling, and then it was coming from all over the world. So I had like 1,200 to 1,500 kids in the database, and so I was doing recurrent, and then pandemic hit. So I had to shut everything down. So it's almost like I had to start all over again. But like you said, when God is in it, all you have to do is keep moving. And he's gonna make a way. He's gonna bring it back together. So now the growth is starting to grow. So I can relate to you. And so we have a lot in common in that regard. But what I will say to you, man, is this. What you're doing is not only legendary. What you're doing is that you're gonna change the whole dynamic of basketball. You're gonna change the whole dynamic. And what I mean by that is, guys now are gonna start thinking totally different about going to HBCUs because of what you're doing, bro. I'm telling you, because basketball is basketball no matter where you go.
Exactly.
And so for me, and I always tell cats, you know, bigger is not always better. Go to a school where you're gonna be able to express what you do and get what you need, you know, and so you can get that type of exposure that you need. Now the other thing that you've done, you've taken these kids overseas. You've taken a team with coaches overseas in France. And I want to tell this story real quick. I'm on the phone talking to my people in France, and they said, do you know this guy, Travis Williams? He's already over here. I say, Travis?
Oh, that's too funny.
You remember that, right? You was already over there trying to get these kids opportunities, man. And you know, I can't say enough, man. I'm not blowing sunshine, man, but I'm so proud of you, what you're doing, man. And we have to, use our platforms as such to empower people as yourself. And that's what I want to try to do. People who's doing things like big things. This is a big deal what you're doing, bro. And I don't take it for granted. But the thing that I sense that you have, and I think what kind of keeps you going, is your gratitude. And so I think as long as you keep the gratitude, I think God is going to provide the rest, man. But tell them about the trip when you took the kids to France and what that was like for some of the kids. And did some of the kids get opportunities through that whole process?
Man, I appreciate you sharing that. And like I said, I'm glad you're sharing that story, man. It's truly amazing. And so to meet some of your colleagues and to play your former team and all that stuff, it was amazing. And so to not only, we talk about national, and it's just a platform, because, you know, also I do an event here in Atlanta. It's called Atlanta Has Something to Say, HBCU All-Stars Challenge. And I've done that at Morehouse for the past 2 years. And folks say, when are you going to do something for Atlanta? And so it's another opportunity for us to really to set the tone. It's to tip off the 2024-25 basketball season. So we're going to do that again. This will be the third year. And so we actually have Tennessee State and Howard. Mm-hmm. We have Clark Atlanta and Tuskegee versus Fayetteville State and Shaw, SIAC versus CIAA. And then we have Mays and Dub representing Atlanta Public School, to bring them all under this umbrella, you know. So that's sort of like, you know, the tip-off, where all roads lead to 2025 in San Antonio.
Right.
So not only that, you got that event, you got the All-Star game. Now, we don't have to wait for folks to come to us. Just like I gave you the stats with the NBA, only one current active HBCU player. You know, God placed his vision in my spirit, say, hey, we need to take this global. So folks understand about the HBCU brand, HBCU All-Stars, and take it global. And to have an opportunity to take 10 of the All-Stars to Paris during the Olympic year, a month before USA descended to Paris, and to play in one of the world's largest street ball tournament championships sponsored by the Jordan brand, and to be one of 20 nations to represent in this historic event was truly God-driven. Think about it. We represented the United States in this, our HBCU All-Stars.
Wow.
And so to walk around Paris and to play in these other friendly exhibition games as well, and you see this HBCU All-Stars on the chest to go to these friendlies and having all these kids coming up and these guys on it, it was truly amazing.
Wow.
It was truly amazing. And so it's in a loud and clear message around the world that our HBCUs do matter. And so now we have a direct link internationally, especially in Paris now,
right,
you know, with our colleagues and the relationships we were able to form there. And to be able to let these, like you say, younger high school kids that are interested in going to HBCUs, but also the current HBCU student athletes there, let them know, wow, right, there are opportunities out here for you to play.
Absolutely.
Professionally on all levels, whether it's NBA, NBA G League,
right,
and international. You look at our numbers now, we currently have 60 to 70% of our guys, of our all-stars that are playing professionally, whether it's overseas, G League, playing professionally now.
I love it.
Which speaks in volumes about why this movement is important. You know, and so I think we're gonna continue to fight for us, but to be nationally and globally recognized, to push the movement was truly amazing. I'm glad you asked that question, because you know, you had a long storied career there. Yes. You have some of the greatest relationships there, and so I mean, you're a legend there. And so to be in this space talking to you about HBCUs and leveling the playing field, not only national, but also globally.
Absolutely.
You know?
Well, here's my thing. Yeah, my experience, you know, once I learned to speak the language, you know, I speak fluent French and fluent Italian. So once I learned to speak the language, I was able to move around a little bit more and develop those relationships. Like I spoke French like fluent for 2 years before I let anybody know, so that I could understand. And when they talking about me, I hear what they saying about me. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say this, man. You know, playing in Europe, and I think we could give those guys, HBCU guys, better opportunity, because I saw the transformation of development. They think that they don't. The European teams think that they don't need our players anymore, because what they're doing now is they're going to these other countries and getting other players from other countries, because what's happening is the rest of the world has caught up with us. It's not that we don't have the most talented player, the most skilled players. We got the best athletes, but basketball is a team sport.
Yeah.
See, what we have gotten bored with is the basics. They never got bored with the basics.
No.
And so that's why the kids and the players that come to me, I'm not trying to get all the best players because I know how to develop them. I can take a kid from scratch, ain't never seen a basketball court, and develop him as long as he stay consistent and he want to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I can do that. I have a contract with the state to work with special need kids. I don't discriminate. So when you come in here, I'm gonna give you everything that we got. And it's not just me. I got like 10 employees, 10 trainers that work. I got an assistant, but my point to you is this, Travis. I think that I think I can help, and we can talk more about this in terms of developing them guys to get them, to let them know. Because I was there 13 years and never had a bad season and never had a losing season because of my mindset and my approach. See, a lot of times, a lot of guys go there and get 2 years, 1 year with some of the teams, and as you know, they got different levels. And so by me having all the relationship and the reputation that I left, you see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I can pick up the phone and get a kid a job just on the strength of my voice. And I'm not saying that mildly, and I've been doing that for years, but I'm not beating my chest. It's just, I'm doing what I can and with my space to try to help as many kids as possible. So I definitely see some synergy, man,
definitely.
where I can help and we can support each other, man.
Definitely.
Because anything that we can do in that regard is I think it's gonna always be positive. But let me ask you this, I know another thing that you do too, and I don't know if is this you, because I know you do like it's like a camp, HBCU camp where you get all the guys together. Is that something that you do?
Now that's part of our NBA Players Association. They do that, the one that's at Morehouse.
Yes.
Yeah, they do the top HBCU players. They do that in the summer
Got
leading
it.
to it. So they pretty much bring in they can be underclassmen and everything like that. Like for what I do is we focus on all graduating seniors
Got
too,
it.
so we can help them pursue those professions. But we all have a relationship, just like with the NBA All-Star Weekend. Those are my colleagues. They actually show my promo video for my All-Star game and helping promotions and stuff. So it's relationships that we have with our NBA colleagues, NABC, National Association of Basketball Coaches, because like I say, it's for everyone. So this past year, I named it the Ben Job Assistant Coaches Mentorship Program. So I sponsored 20 HBCU coaches membership for the NABC. Craig Robinson, who oversees that, and paid their membership dues, but also their membership and the convention dues to attend the Final Four as a way of paying it forward, because our HBCU coaches are just as talented, but sometimes they're financially limited what they can do. So I decided, as a part of what I do through HBCU also, and paid their membership and their dues to attend.
I love it.
So these are the type of initiatives that really push the envelope of what we're doing. And so truly remarkable about the great work you do. I do see a lot of synergy. It starts with what we're doing now. We're telling the world, we're showcasing, we're telling the world HBCUs matter. But more importantly, we're telling the message why it's important for us, both, God-fearing men in this space, and we've been able to use basketball. We did not allow basketball to use us. I tell folks all the time, use basketball, don't allow it to use us. And so we've been able to do that through our platform. But let me speak on who you are as a person. Like I said, we in a lot of the same basketball space. When you can get recognized through the NBA Atlanta Hawks and all that stuff, through the work you're doing, it speaks volumes about you and taking the young folks and continue to have those relationships, man. I'm telling you, man, I run into a number of kids that have been through your basketball academy or been mentored by you in this space. You're one of the most respected folks, individuals in this game, because you have trainers and all this other stuff. And it's the relationship that goes on and outlives anything that we've ever done. Like I'm in group text with a lot of my former players, and I'm the same with you, with the relationship that you have with anybody that come in contact. So I want to tell you, keep up the great work. And for you to be able to have a platform like this, telling your story, your journey, and what this means to our culture and just folks in general, man, I applaud you. And that's real as real as can get, you know what I'm saying? Because we've been rolling a long time. And we go through all type of transition, the highs and lows and careers, decide. But man, one thing we know, brother, we keep that faith.
Yes, sir.
We have that vision. And we're showing folks that there are individuals like us, African Americans, strong men, husbands and fathers that believe in our family and our structure, that we're going to fight for us regardless, whether it's, we're going to fight for us, we're going to fight for our culture, we're going to fight for what we believe in, and we're going to make a difference in the world. I think that's the most important. Why do you live life? I live life to serve. I'm a man of faith. I love my family. And I always say in the back of my mind, and a lot of folks don't know my story, but I grew up without a mom. My mom passed away at the age of 30 of lupus. I was 12 years old. I didn't have a father figure. I'm the first in my family to attend college and graduate college. So think about that. 10 college graduates. No one ever in my family went to college till I was the first one ever. And so I knew at such an early age, I'm like, I was juggled from family to family, because during the time you think folks are getting you because they love you, they might be getting you because of that time, because you're getting a little social security check and all that stuff. To be juggled from family to family. Didn't have a father figure in my life. I tell folks this story, Bo. I said, no one in my family, Bo, I'm one of 25 players to score 1,000 points at Georgia State. I got 2 degrees. No one in my family ever watched me play college basketball.
Wow.
I tell folks that, they be like, what?
Wow.
No one in my family ever watched me play college basketball in my career. There was days, man, I leave the gym, I walk out, I see all these guys with their family members and stuff, man. I would intentionally be the last one. That hits home. So when I grind for the future of my kids and family and making a difference. And I grind, and that's why when I go to Tifton do my foundation, Travis L. Williams Foundation, Patricia's Blessed Cloth I just did a few weeks ago. So my mother celebrated 70 years. So we went back home and did her 70th birthday celebration. In front of that housing project where I grew up, it's called 516 Maple Street. We fed over 100 families. We went to an event center, friends and family. You come through, we're gonna have a family dinner. If your friends or family lines come through, no question, next have a family dinner. We release balloons. The next day, we delivered school supplies to all schools in her memory to keep her legacy alive. And so that's the type, it's a life of service for me. And that's kind of how I flow in everything I do, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I flow. All that other stuff, how do we make a difference in the world? You have made such a profound difference in the world. Man, I'm telling you, you are so respected, man. I follow you all the time and the great work you're doing, man, bro. So I want to make sure I tell this to you and for the folks that are watching. You have a story, and your story resonated with me because I remember my senior year playing against you, and I remember when you walk in the gym, just the respect fact that everybody. I'm just telling you, man, me and my guy, we had them stories talking about who was some of the best hoopers, who was some of the best people. Your name comes up in every circle, brother. Every circle. So I know we haven't been in a space to really share that. Every circle. Right. And then it comes up in impacting lives through our young folks, man. Wow. I've walked through the city and I see your billboards, bro. That's testimony. That's testimony. I'm listening to the radio, Greg Street and all that. That's testimony, brother. So I'm sharing that with you because I know your impact, in this community and serving our folks, man. So I wanted to say that too. I know we were talking about, but I wanted to say that to you, brother, man. Keep doing the great work you're doing. Keep this platform going, man. And I'm truly humbled, and I'm glad we were able to get on schedule, come in here and sit here and break bread with you, brother.
No doubt, man.
Yeah.
And I'm just, man, listen, man, you flowing me right now, man. The thing is, see, basketball is just a vessel. And you know that, man. We have 2 entities. We have the Bobel Basketball Academy, which is year-round, and we got Team Bobel. Team Bobel is our 501c3. It's our nonprofit. Like I said, the initiative is TEAM stands for Together Each Accomplish More. We have 4 core pillars adjacent to it. So we have an education enhancement program, health and wellness nutritional program. We have a financial initiative program, and we partnered up with several nonprofits. So we just did a blanket drive. I think we got close to 1,200 blankets, and so we go out, go under the bridges. Partnered up with Solomon Temple for the homeless women and children over. So we're doing a lot of stuff in the community. We're just not beating our chests, man. We just doing the work because this is not me. I know it's not me. I'm just doing the work. Similar to yourself. And when you find, or when you have that purpose, you move different. And you surround yourself with like-minded people, or you roll by yourself. Because everybody can't see that vision. Everybody don't understand what goes into that. But what I will say is, I think all of us have a responsibility to make change with your platform, whatever that is, to try to help. We chose, or we was chosen, to serve and do our purpose through basketball. So you too can do the same with your platform, whatever that is. It's all about serving, it's all about giving, as Travis alluded to earlier. Man, I just came back from the Olympics, man. Man. My brother, man, check this out. So the head coach of the French national team of the women and the head coach of the French women and the men team, I played with both of them cats.
Wow.
So actually tomorrow he's coming on one of the shows tomorrow. Yeah, he's coming on tomorrow, him and Sam Mitchell. But that experience was life. It was a life experience. I want to say life changing because I've seen some different things. And I've been all over, but it was a life experience that I would never forget.
Wow.
Just being in that environment. And the Federation provided tickets for us, man. So we was like right there. So yeah, man. So just being in that environment and being able to see the difference. Now, and I just want to talk about the basketball. We had a chance to go to boxing, see some track and field. We did a lot of cycling. We see a lot of different things, me and my wife. But seeing basketball up close, and what I was talking about early, a lot of guys can play, Travis, and we talented, but they don't know how to play. See, basketball is, when I'm developing kids, even with my program, Travis, I'm telling you, man, when I'm developing, I don't consider myself a trainer because you train dogs, cats, chickens, and animals.
Exactly.
You develop people. So it's a different approach. How can I help you physically, mentally, and emotionally? How can I help you through this? Hey man, when I shake your hand, you better look me in my eyes, man. Look me in my eye. Then pull your pants up type stuff. So now you got that basketball, they listen to you. So my point to you is this, a lot of guys who they think don't make it, they're not, because they're caught in the hype. And so if we don't, and that's why the kids that come through me early and they stay, they max out. Maximize. A lot of guys get better, but they don't maximize because everybody do. You look at the internet, everybody doing the same thing, child. 100 million joules. 100 million joules to make one basket. But you got 3 guys just cut for a layup that you can pass the ball to. So what are you teaching? So I think I'm just trying to be a bigger impact on the grassroots side because I don't see a lot of guys with my experience stand at that level to try to make change. And then when I'm bringing the message, I've been on that they was coming 25 years. And that's why my methodology is feet. I don't call it footwork. I rebranded the name Feet Work. You see it, right?
You know.
So because I know just to take the focus off the dribbling the ball, because you can't go nowhere without your feet. So that's the whole approach. And so I think I don't want to say, it's just weird to me, basics is being innovated now. Basics is innovated. Right? It's innovated because everybody's doing the same thing. So what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to allude to is, I want to try to help you, especially the guys who got it. Who got it. We find a way to get them in the gym and let me give them, and I can mentor them so they can be prepared how to get these jobs. Not just get them, how to keep them.
I got you.
But no, man, this has been amazing, bro.
Definitely. And like I said, There's some opportunities because as we continue to build and grow,
Yes.
that's the perfect opportunity. Look where we started. We started
Yes.
Paris, where you're
Yes.
French, where you guys.
Yes.
So there's definitely some opportunities and stuff like that. So
Yes.
no, our respect and for each other is at the utmost highest. And so no, this has been great.
Yes.
We'll continue to have this dialogue and
Yes.
keep moving forward. But also we'll connect together on some of our philanthropy work.
Absolutely.
You know, what you're doing through your philanthropy, your
Yes.
nonprofits, and everything
Yes.
you do. Because like I mentioned to you, anytime someone asks me, I say I'm recommending to both. You know what I'm saying? That's always been kind of my thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen the great work you're doing and stuff like that. So now, this is forever. We're linked forever, brother.
I appreciate that. So, Chad, before you go, man, I need you to tell the audience, man, number one, if they want to volunteer, how they can get in touch with you.
Yep.
Number two, how they can become a part of it, man. How this movement and the things that you're doing, how can they get involved, and just give them the information.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Well, thank you for listening today and watching us. I just think, continue to share the message that we're sharing across the country. You know what I'm saying? When you see this, share it. Make sure you get all your followers and everyone to share it. But you can follow, Travis L. Williams 24 on IG. You can follow HBCU All-Stars LLC, my company. You can follow HBCU All-Star Game. You can follow HBCU All-Star Game Experience. You can follow HBCU All-Stars International Tour. I think that's important. Anything HBCU All-Stars, I think is important on all social media handles, YouTube, TikTok. We're there. And if you're interested in volunteer work or being a part as serving an internship, go to hbcuallstargame.com and fill out your information, and our information is sent an email directly to us, and we'll be in touch. In probably 2.5, 3 months, we're hosting the 3rd annual Atlanta Has Something to Say HBCU All-Stars Challenge here in Atlanta. Georgia State Convocation Center, Tennessee State University, Howard University, who two of the largest HBCU basketball brands in the country, will be here in Atlanta. Then, of course, we got the SIC CIAA rivalry, Clark Atlanta Tuskegee, host at the host school, Clark Atlanta University. And then, of course, you got to have the Atlanta Public School rivalries, Mays and Douglas High School. If you don't know anything about Mays and Douglas, they are Atlanta Public School highest rivalry. So all that is a part of HBCU All-Stars Week, starting Monday, November the 11th, here all the way through Saturday, November 16th. Please make sure you follow. Go to hbcuallstargame.com, hbcuallstarsllc.com. We're truly, truly excited to continue this God-driven vision. We're showing the world that HBCUs matter, and we're showing the world that we can celebrate the best in Black college basketball, Black cultural experience, and Black history. The time is now.
I heard it from him. The time is now. Hey, thank y'all for listening. Go to BowBellBasketballAcademy.com for more information. Hey, man, tune in. Appreciate y'all. Hey, bro, thank you, man.
It's all love. My
man.
God,
Appreciate it, man.
my God,
Appreciate it.
my God.
Yeah, big time.